Dear friends, believe it or not, when he does not call or message you, it means something far greater than what you think. It means life is giving you a space to grow stronger. It means you are being reminded that your worth does not come from a phone screen or a notification tone. Too often we attach our peace to someone else's attention, and when it is missing we feel lost. But silence is not rejection. Silence is direction. It is telling you to look within and not just around. Many people spend their days waiting. Waiting for a sound. Waiting for a text. Waiting for someone to confirm their value. But the truth is, when you wait, you are losing moments that could have been spent building your own strength. Ask yourself this. Why do you give so much power to someone else's absence? Why do you measure your happiness by someone else's actions? The absence is a lesson. It is a mirror that says, learn to stand alone. Learn to be complete before anyone adds to you. This moment where he is silent is the moment you learn presence. When no message comes, it is time to message yourself with action. It is time to write your own day. It is time to find the discipline to breathe deeply, to train your mind, to stop chasing, and to start creating. Your power is in how you respond, not in how you are received. Think of the masters of any craft. They do not sit still hoping for attention. They rise each morning and they work. They cultivate their body and mind. They do not wait to be chosen because they have already chosen themselves. This is your call to do the same. So do not see the silence as pain. See it as freedom. Do not see the absence as loss. See it as an open road. This is where you walk with your head high. This is where you say, if the message never comes, I will still move. If the call never rings, I will still grow. Because the most powerful voice you will ever hear is the one inside you. Believe it or not, when he does not call or message you, it is not always about him being busy or careless. It is often about life giving you an opening to see yourself without the filter of someone else's attention. His silence is your opportunity to discover your true strength and independence. Many people do not realize how much of their energy is spent waiting for someone to respond, waiting for someone to validate their worth through a simple phone notification. But when that message does not come, when the call does not arrive, something powerful happens. You are forced to sit with yourself, and for many that is uncomfortable, because we are not taught to find peace in our own company. Yet that is where real growth starts. In those moments of silence, you begin to understand that your value was never meant to be measured by someone else's interest or availability. You start to notice things about yourself you were too distracted to see before. You start to remember goals you left behind when you were too busy waiting. You learn to cook your own meals with joy, to read books that enrich your mind, to train your body, and breathe deeply to feel alive without needing a screen to light up your world. When there is no message from him, there is finally a message from life saying, here is your time to be whole, without leaning on anyone else. Some people think silence means rejection, but often it means redirection. His silence might be protecting you from disappointment or freeing your time for something far better. It might be showing you that your focus should not be on waiting but on moving forward. Look at the strongest people you admire. They do not crumble because someone is quiet. They keep walking. They understand that their mission, their dreams, their discipline cannot stop because another person is absent. They take the silence and turn it into fuel. This is what independence feels like. It is not coldness and it is not loneliness. It is learning to enjoy your own thoughts, your own laughter, your own progress. It is choosing to spend your energy on building your future instead of overthinking someone else's actions. Every hour you spend waiting is an hour lost, but every hour you spend creating is an hour invested. Silence gives you those hours back. Think of it like this. When a door closes, another is left wide open, but most people are too busy staring at the closed one to notice. The absence of a message is that closed door. But right beside you is the open one that leads to learning, a skill, building your fitness, improving your finances, strengthening your mind. The more you walk through these doors, the less dependent you become on who calls or who does not. That is true freedom. So when the phone stays quiet, remind yourself this is your moment. This is where your confidence is built brick by brick. This is where you stop chasing and start becoming. There will always be people who are present and people who are not, but the one constant you can rely on is you. His silence is not the end of anything. It is the start of your own voice getting louder. And when you learn to love that sound, nothing can shake you. Believe it or not, when he does not call or message you, it is not an attack on your value. It is a quiet reminder to turn your focus inward and build something that no one can take away. A missed call is a reminder to focus on self-growth rather than seeking validation. Too often we live in a world where the smallest notification on a phone can change our mood in seconds. And when it does not come, we feel like something is missing. But the truth is, nothing is missing except the attention you were expecting. That space is where the most important work begins. When there is no sound from his side, you suddenly have an open canvas. You have minutes and hours that are yours to fill with meaning. This is the moment when you can ask yourself hard questions. Why do I wait for someone else to make me feel important? Why do I measure my happiness by someone else's decision to reach out? These questions do not make you weak. They make you aware. And awareness is the first step to self-growth. Self-growth happens when you stop running after signals of worth and start building a foundation that is unshakable. Think of a tree. It does not grow tall because someone watches it or praises it. It grows because its roots are deep, and it keeps reaching for light no matter what is happening around it. You are that tree. When someone does not call you, it does not mean you are forgotten. It means you have the chance to deepen your own roots. You can take that energy and put it into learning something new, mastering a skill, reading words that feed your mind, practicing habits that bring calmness and strength. Many people confuse silence with rejection. They believe that if someone is not calling them, then something must be wrong. But most of the time, nothing is wrong at all. Sometimes people are caught up in their own battles. Sometimes they are simply not the ones meant to be in your story long term. And sometimes life removes distractions to teach you independence. What matters is how you respond. Do you sit in sadness or do you rise and create? That choice defines your growth. Every time you check your phone and see nothing, use that as fuel. Think to yourself, this is one more hour for me to work on me. Build a stronger body. Build a sharper mind. Build a calmer heart. These things do not just make you more attractive to others, they make you whole for yourself. And wholeness is magnetic. People notice when someone is complete without needing constant reassurance. That is power. The greatest lesson silence teaches is patience and trust in your own path. While others are busy chasing likes, messages, and calls, you will be busy becoming unshakable. And when the day comes that someone does call or message you, it will not define you, because you already know who you are. So do not let a missed call break your peace. Let it guide you toward your purpose. Every moment you spend growing instead of waiting is a moment that builds a stronger you. And when you learn to grow in silence, no absence can ever make you feel empty. Believe it or not, when he does not call or message you, it is not the end of the world, it is life, giving you a chance to turn inward and ask yourself what truly deserves your attention. When he does not message, life is telling you to invest in your own journey. There is something powerful about quiet moments when no one is reaching out, because it forces you to notice where your energy has been going and whether it has been used to build something meaningful or wasted waiting for something uncertain. Many people spend their days holding on to the hope that someone will make them feel valued, but in that hope they forget that the greatest investment they can ever make is in themselves. When there is no message from him, it does not mean you are less important. It means you now have the space to build something extraordinary. It is a clear sign that your focus must shift to your personal path, because there is no one in this world who can walk it for you. Think about it. Every single dream, every single achievement, every single moment of pride comes not from someone calling you, but from the effort you put in when no one was watching. The hours you spend learning, growing, and moving forward are the ones that transform your life. When you do not receive a message, it is an opportunity to write your own. Your journey is not a background story to someone else's presence or absence. It is the main event. Life gives you signals in strange ways, and silence is one of them. That gap where a message could have been is space you can fill with action. Start something you always postponed. Begin that course, read that book, start that fitness routine, work on your dreams. Each moment invested in yourself is a brick added to the foundation of your future. People often think attention from others will complete them, but the truth is you are already complete when you pour into your own growth. The reason silence can hurt is because it exposes how much of our happiness depends on someone else's choices. That is where the lesson lies. When you take that same energy and place it into your goals, the pain fades, because you are no longer waiting for someone else to create your joy. You are creating it yourself, and that is where true freedom begins. It is easy to feel ignored when your phone stays quiet, but what if instead of feeling ignored you felt free? What if you could see those hours as gifts, as time that belongs only to you? The world is full of people who never discover themselves because they are too busy being distracted. But you have been handed an open road. Walk it. Every step you take for yourself makes you stronger, more confident, more resilient. And in that process, something incredible happens. The right people start noticing you, not because you waited for them, but because you grew into someone who does not need their validation. So when the message does not come, when the phone stays silent, do not feel forgotten. Feel chosen. Chosen by life to do something meaningful with your time. Chosen to be the author of your story instead of a character waiting for another to speak. Chosen to learn that the greatest conversation you will ever have is with yourself. Because when you invest in your own journey, you become unstoppable. And when the day comes that someone does reach out, you will answer not out of need, but out of choice. Believe it or not, when he does not call or message you, it does not always mean something negative. It often means something far more valuable is being prepared for you. Absence often means you are being redirected towards something better. It is human nature to crave attention and reassurance, and when those things do not arrive, it is easy to feel forgotten or unwanted. But life has its own timing, and sometimes silence is a sign that the path you thought you needed is not the one designed for you. When there is no message or call coming in, it is not the end of your story. It is a pause that can shift your entire direction. There are moments in life when you want something so badly that you believe it has to happen exactly when you desire it. But many times what you think you want is much smaller than what you are capable of having. His silence might be protecting you from distractions that could slow your progress. It might be clearing your mind so you can see things that were hidden behind your attachment. Every unanswered call, every unread message is like a quiet whisper telling you to look elsewhere, to look deeper, to look forward. Absence has a strange way of teaching clarity. When someone steps back, it allows you to notice things you could not see while you were focused on them. Maybe the path you are walking is meant to be lighter and freer. Maybe the time you spend waiting is meant to be filled with lessons about self-respect and patience. But maybe there are people and opportunities waiting ahead that will only reveal themselves when you stop standing still. The lack of a message might feel like emptiness, but it can be the very space you need to grow. Think about every great story, every turning point in life. It rarely happens when everything is perfect. It happens when something feels missing, when someone leaves, when silence replaces noise. Those moments hurt at first, but they are also powerful because they strip away what is unnecessary and give room for something greater. If you could see your life from a wider view, you would realize that the absence of one person's attention is tiny compared to the world of experiences waiting to meet you. It is easy to believe that attention equals value, but your value does not change based on who shows up or who stays silent. Your value is constant. It is the world around you that moves and shifts to teach you lessons. Sometimes absence is the way life says, "Keep walking, I have something better for you, but you must trust me first." That is the part many people miss. They get stuck in sadness instead of using silence as a signal. Use that time to move toward your own dreams. There is always a book to read, a skill to learn, a goal to chase, a strength to build. The phone might be silent, but your mind and your life do not have to be. When there is no message filling your screen, fill your days with progress. Absence creates space, and space is where creation begins. So when he does not call or message, do not take it as rejection, take it as protection. Do not take it as loss, take it as direction. Let the silence push you forward, not backward. Because very often the thing you are waiting for is not coming, because something better is on the way, and you need to be ready to receive it. Believe it or not, when he does not call or message you, it can shake your thoughts and make you wonder what went wrong. But the truth is, nothing is wrong. It is life giving you a lesson that will strengthen you in ways you did not expect. No response is a chance to build emotional discipline and inner peace. It is easy to depend on constant communication to feel loved or valued, but that dependency is fragile because it rests on something you cannot control. The silence is uncomfortable because it exposes how much of your happiness is tied to something outside of you, but that is exactly why it is so powerful. It is an invitation to take back your power and learn to steady yourself. When there is no call, no message, the mind often creates stories. It wonders why it happened. It questions itself. But this is where emotional discipline begins. Discipline is the art of staying calm in uncertainty and trusting that your worth does not change with someone's actions. This is not just about relationships, it is about life. There will be many times when things do not go as planned, when people do not show up, when situations test your patience. If you can stay centered in moments like this, you are building a strength that will carry you through anything. Think of athletes training every day. They do not become strong by lifting what is easy. They become strong by lifting what is heavy and uncomfortable. The same applies here. Silence and absence are heavy for the heart, but they are the weights that shape your emotional muscles. Every time you feel ignored and choose calmness instead of panic, you are training yourself to rise above neediness and fear. Inner peace does not come when everything goes your way. It comes when things are uncertain, yet you remain steady. It is the feeling of saying, even if no message arrives, I am still enough. Even if no one calls, I am still worthy. This is not arrogance, it is self-respect. It is choosing to stop letting a piece of technology decide whether you have a good day or a bad one. When he does not respond, it is a perfect chance to turn inward. Breathe deeper. Reflect on what matters. Put your energy into something useful instead of spiraling. Learn to read, write, create, or simply rest without guilt. The phone staying silent can be a gift because it breaks patterns of dependence and teaches you to live without constant reassurance. Once you taste that independence, the world feels lighter because you are no longer at the mercy of someone else's attention. Peace is built like a house, brick by brick, choice by choice. Every moment you decide not to be shaken is another brick added. Soon you have walls strong enough to handle storms. That is why the silence should not scare you. It is not emptiness. It is construction. It is your inner world becoming solid. So the next time there is no call and no message, do not let your mind race. Smile instead. Tell yourself, this is practice, this is strength, this is growth. Emotional discipline will make you unshakable, and inner peace will make you untouchable. And when someone finally does reach out, you will answer not from need, but from calm confidence, because you have already learned to be whole on your own. Believe it or not, when he does not call or message you, it may feel like a quiet sting, a small emptiness that makes you question yourself, but that very silence holds a hidden gift. Silence can be a gift, teaching you self-worth without external approval. It is in these moments when you realize how much you rely on small signals from others to feel important, and that is when you begin to see the truth that your value was never meant to come from someone else's attention. This is the time when you learn to separate your identity from another person's actions. When your phone stays quiet and there is no message lighting up the screen, your mind starts to wonder. Questions rise. Why is he silent? Did I do something wrong? Is something missing in me? But this is where you have to pause and understand something deeper. The silence is not about you being less. It is about you having a chance to know yourself without distraction. It is easy to feel confident when everyone is giving you attention. The real strength is when you can feel whole even when no one is watching. Silence has a way of bringing you face to face with yourself. In that quiet space, you discover things you could not see when you were busy waiting. You see how much you have given to others and how little you have saved for yourself. You notice the parts of you that need care, the dreams that were pushed aside, and the passions that are waiting to be revived. When there is no message from him, it is the perfect time to message yourself with love and attention. It is the time to say I matter, even when no one else is saying it to me. Self-worth built in silence is stronger than any praise, because it comes from within. Think of a mountain. It stands tall whether anyone admires it or not. It does not shrink when ignored, nor does it grow taller when praised. It simply exists in its strength. That is how you must see yourself. The message you wait for cannot add to who you are, and the silence cannot subtract from it. What you are in the quiet is what you truly are, and that is powerful. When you stop depending on someone else's call to feel significant, you free yourself from invisible chains. You begin to take charge of your time. You start exploring your goals without hesitation. You create, work, rest, and live fully because your happiness is no longer on hold. You stop checking your phone every few minutes and instead check your own progress. You stop replaying conversations in your head and instead create new opportunities for growth. Silence stops being a punishment and becomes a teacher. The more you accept silence, the more peaceful you become. You no longer see absence as rejection, but as space. Space to breathe, to heal, to grow, to learn something new, to love yourself deeper. This self-worth built in quiet moments will make you strong enough to handle any noise, any presence, or any absence. And the best part is when people finally do call or message you, they meet someone who is already complete. So when he does not call or message, do not take it as a sign of your weakness. Take it as a sign that you are being invited to rise. Let the silence remind you that your worth does not live in someone's words. It lives in your own choices and your own heart. And when you hold that truth firmly, nothing and no one can make you feel less. Believe it or not, when he does not call or message you, it may feel like you have been forgotten. But that pause can be the most valuable moment you will ever experience. His quietness opens space for you to create, achieve, and thrive on your own. Too often we believe our days will be brighter if someone acknowledges us or if a certain person gives us attention. But attention fades and people get busy. What never fades is the strength you build when you use the quiet to focus on yourself. The absence of his message is not a sign of neglect. It is an open door to your own potential. When you are not distracted by waiting for a reply, you suddenly have more time than you realize. That time can be used to build something meaningful. Think about it. How many hours are lost scrolling, waiting, wondering? Those same hours could be used to learn a skill, start a project, write your ideas, improve your health. The energy spent on questions, like why has he not called, could be turned into answers to bigger questions, like how can I grow today? How can I make my life richer, stronger, more fulfilling? Quietness is not emptiness. It is fertile ground. In silence, your mind starts to clear. Your thoughts become sharper, and your ideas start to flow. It is when you realize that you can thrive without anyone holding your hand. You learn to plan your day around your priorities, not around someone else's timing. This is where self-respect grows. When you create something on your own, whether it is a better body, a sharper mind, or a new achievement, you start to see your own worth in a new light. There is a reason successful people do not wait for anyone to validate them. They know that waiting wastes precious time. They use every silent moment to push forward. They understand that life rewards action, not hesitation. When you start using quietness as a tool instead of a punishment, you begin to see progress where before there was only anxiety. That progress builds confidence, and that confidence changes everything. The absence of a message can be the loudest lesson you will ever learn. It teaches you that you do not need constant reassurance to shine. It teaches you to stop chasing and start creating. It shows you that when the world goes quiet, you are still here, breathing, alive, capable. This is when you become unstoppable because you stop relying on others for momentum. You generate it yourself. Every achievement you create during silence becomes a proof to yourself that you are enough. It could be as simple as reading a chapter of a book, finishing a workout, or starting something you have been postponing. These actions seem small, but together they shape a stronger version of you. And when he does call or message, eventually he will find someone who has grown, not someone who has been waiting. So the next time there is no call or message, take a deep breath and smile. This is your signal to rise, not to shrink. This is your chance to turn quiet moments into milestones. Because when you learn to create, achieve, and thrive on your own, no absence can ever limit you, and no silence can ever define you. Believe it or not, when the calls do not come and the messages do not appear, it is never the end of your story. It is the beginning of your own strength. Each moment of silence was a reminder to look inward, to grow wiser, to build a life that is not shaken by absence but strengthened by it. You learned that your worth does not depend on a screen lighting up, and your peace does not belong to someone else's attention. Instead, you discovered that silence is not rejection, it is redirection, it is growth, it is freedom. So let this entire journey remind you to rise above waiting, to choose action over doubt, and to love yourself enough to keep moving even when no one is watching. When you learn to thrive in silence, you become unshakable. And when the right voices finally reach you, they will only add to the completeness you already carry within. Good luck to you on this path. May you never forget your strength, and may your silence always lead you to greater heights. Thank you for listening, and keep building your best self every single day.